Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Okap in the Seychelles. Let me zoom out on here so we can see exactly where we are. We are on the island of Mahé, the largest island in the Seychelles. And if we zoom out, you can see the various other islands all around there. There's a lot of them, but those are the major ones there. Seychelles is an interesting little country. It is the smallest African country by area outside of the continent. We are located way out here. You can see here's the Horn of Africa, where there's Somalia. Here's Kenya, Tanzania coast there. Down here's Madagascar. You can see Mauritius just popping up there. And Seychelles is located, you can see on this little mountainy area under the water. Sticking up, you can see Mogadishu is just like a straight line almost, the capital of Somalia. And Seychelles has an interesting little history. There's not much to say about just this tiny corner of a very tiny island. So just if you didn't know, there are no indigenous inhabitants in the Seychelles. It was uninhabited for a very, very, very long time. Vasco da Gama's crew was the first to ever see these islands in the year 1503. The first settlers were the French. They arrived in the year 1756. The British took over in 1810. And Seychelles gained independence in 1976. They are part of the Commonwealth, like a union of former British colonies. And, cool. That's the history of the Seychelles in a very small nutshell. Which is interesting because in Seychelles, not here, but in Seychelles you can find the world's largest nut. But not on this island. In a very small nutshell. So what can we find here in Okap? Well, as you can see, the only thing that's really popping up is this rum distillery. So I thought, oh, that must be a very important historical site, Maybe this has been here for hundreds of years and has this long history of rum making. They've got some tortoise friends here because Seychelles is very famous for their very large tortoises, similar to the Galapagos on the other side of the planet. So I went to their website and looked it up, and they began in the very early 2000s. But this is quite nice in memory of the men, women, and children who have lived and worked at La Plaine Saint-André since 1792. That's very kind, So I was thinking, looking at this, it must be historical, but it's really not. It's been around for about 20 years or so. But very impressive. You can do all kinds of tours and learn about the history of rum distillery in the Seychelles, which turns out is quite a long practice of sorts. See, they do have a museum and food truck. And you can buy all their rum there. The only other thing that pops up is this neighborhood, Pointe aux Celles, which has some fantastic photos. Beautiful beaches. Seychelles is one of those paradises on earth, just pure tropical joy. Just look at the thick trees here. There's a little moo out there wandering around. It was a stormy day at sea. You can see a resort there. And when I've covered other places in the Seychelles, I've tried to designate which region is, what do they specialize in, what makes them stand out from the others, whether it be like a fishing industry. One was, hiking. They had lots of great hikes. From what I see here, this is the area of the cheap hotels. This is where, if you want to save a penny or two while visiting the Seychelles, you can stay here at Au Cap. And that's pretty much all that I found. So here's the trick that I do sometimes when I've got just like nothing to say, is I go to the layers here and set it to everything. Let's see everything. And then so many other slideshows popped up. It's fantastic. Before we go back to the beach, look at this. I assume that this trail goes off into another area, but maybe the trail crosses over into Au Cap, and we can see what some of this green wilderness looks like out here, which is just, of course, stunning and just beautiful beyond words, right? Look at this. Imagine the adventures you'd have hiking in these woods amongst all of these tropical plants. It's very mysterious, very fun. Look at the little paths. It's so quaint. This sign saying don't go any further, which is, that would be sad to find. But yeah, beautiful little tropical trail here. How fun would that be? Even though that looks worrisome that this whole fencing's destroyed. It looks like they've set up a really gorgeous little hiking trail for people like these guys exploring the interior of Mahe. Down here, let's see, you can see this says Turtle Bay. And I think this slideshow has some turtles. If it's not this slideshow, it's a different one, but they're both perfect. Just stunning. Just like, I want to be here so bad. It's just like, this just makes me relax instantly. I don't know about you. It must be a different slideshow where you see the turtles, but this is just heavenly. How is this not like AI generated? This is real. This is a real place. I can't get enough. It's so lovely. The cool rocks too, all shaped by wind and water for the years, totally undisturbed by humans for so long. Let's see, where are the turtles? There it is. It's got to be this one. Au Cap Beach. There we go. So sea turtles only come on land for one reason and one reason only. Females come ashore to lay their eggs, and something in their little turtle brains remember exactly the beach where they were born, and they know how to swim back there. And they climb out the water, and they dig in the sand. See, look at it. They're coming out there. They dig in the sand here and lay their eggs in the sand and bury it, and then they go back out to the sea, and they never touch land again until it's time to lay more eggs. And then, of course, the little eggs hatch. Little babies crawl out right to the ocean, and they swim off. It's just like I don't know, it's such a strange concept that they, never touched land their whole lives except for the moment they were born. But then they're just like chilling they can just go out of the water and just chill on the sand and lay eggs. I don't know, just imagine like not touching land for like 5 years and then just going on the beach like, oh, time to pop out some eggs. Real quick, let me do this and I'm gonna go back out. I don't know, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around like how they're just like fine with that. There was a cool little shop here. I think it's this one that has some cool crafts for sale, and it looks like some bungalows too, because like I said, you saw all the hotels popping up. There's all kinds. They got some cool ship models. Of course, there's the beach. Maybe it wasn't this, but this is pretty cool. Huh? Look at all the models. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Well, that's fun. A little village there, recreation. Old sewing machine. Wonder how old that is. Oh, look at that. That's a fun room. All kinds of memorabilia there. Maybe that was what I was looking for. Craft Village, yeah. And yeah, you can see all the different places you can stay here. So many. Oops, we don't want to go to Point La Rue. Another day we'll do that and explore. So I think that's pretty much it. Do you want to look at the mini mart? Do you think there's pictures of the mini mart? Buy some snacks here in Seychelles. Oh my gosh, get some canned food, some ice cream, everything you'd need here at the mini mart. Some biscuits. What's it? This one? A&S Supermarket. Nothing. Okay, that's all right. Nope. Ooh, walk and grill. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, that looks amazing. I'm a shellfish person. I could eat shellfish every single day. My mouth is watering now. Some chicken, maybe? Some fish and chips, maybe? Oh my gosh, look at that. It's a cashew chicken. Oh my gosh. Yum, calamari. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up and then maybe I'm gonna go look at more of these restaurants and get hungry. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing, and now is the time to do it because next we are heading to New Zealand. We are going to check out New Zealand's largest city and some of the absolutely gorgeous sights around it. I don't know why I was so surprised that there's so much beautiful nature around Auckland. I thought I was just going to be looking at a city, but no, they have gorgeous like national park areas all around. Don't want to miss it. I hope that you found this video relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good night. Let's go all the way out. Wow. Good night.